Who is the Zodiac Killer? A question that has intrigued and baffled investigators for over half a century. Let's step back in time to the late 60s, a period of profound societal change, yet also the dawn of one of the most chilling and enigmatic crime sprees in American history. On the night of December 20th, 1968, the tranquility of Benicia, California was shattered. High school students Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday had planned an evening of innocent fun, a first date that tragically became their last. The young couple was found brutally murdered near their parked car at a Lover's Lane spot on Lake Herman Road. A horrific scene that baffled local law enforcement, who quickly found themselves grappling with a dearth of leads or suspects. The circumstances surrounding Jensen and Faraday's deaths were as perplexing as they were brutal. Both teenagers were shot, with Betty Lou's body found several feet from the car, suggesting a desperate attempt to flee from their assailant. David, still beside the vehicle, had not been afforded the same chance. Despite their best efforts, the police were left scratching their heads. There were no witnesses, no discernible motive, and the killer had left no trace of his identity. This was the first confirmed attack attributed to the individual who would soon become known as the Zodiac Killer. In the absence of concrete evidence, the case quickly went cold, leaving a community gripped by fear and a mystery that would only deepen with time. What initially seemed like an isolated incident soon spiraled into a terrifying pattern. The Zodiac Killer, as he would later christen himself, was just getting started. His reign of terror was not confined to the act of murder alone. He sought not just to kill, but to instill fear, to taunt, and to perplex, leaving behind a trail of cryptic letters and unsolved ciphers that would confound investigators for decades to come. A brutal beginning to a saga that would soon captivate and terrify the nation. The enigma was just beginning, and the Zodiac Killer was about to etch his name into the annals of true crime history. In the summer of 1969, the case took a chilling turn. The Zodiac Killer, as he would soon be known, began a terrifying correspondence with the press. His letters, postmarked from the San Francisco Bay Area, were like nothing anyone had seen before. They were filled with taunts and threats, but most intriguingly, they included cryptic ciphers. The first of these letters arrived in July. The sender, who was still anonymous at this point, included a three-part cipher and a chilling demand: print the coded message in the newspaper, or more people would die. The newspapers complied, sparking a frenzy of amateur codebreakers trying their hand at deciphering the message. As the summer wore on, the letters kept coming, each one more chilling than the last. The Zodiac Killer was growing bolder, and his missives became increasingly deranged. He claimed responsibility for more attacks, which the police were able to confirm. The fear in the Bay Area was palpable. Residents lived in a state of constant terror, wondering where and when the Zodiac would strike next. The letters were not just a way for the Zodiac to taunt the police. They were also his means of engaging the public in his macabre game. He seemed to relish the fear and confusion he was creating. His letters were filled with coded messages, some of which have yet to be cracked even today. These ciphers were like the killer himself, elusive, mysterious, and terrifying. Through his letters, the Zodiac Killer created a persona that was as much a part of his crimes as the murders themselves. His correspondence served not only to claim responsibility for his actions, but to create a narrative around his crimes, one that has both fascinated and horrified the world for over 5 decades. The Zodiac Killer was not just killing. He was playing a deadly game with the police and the public. His letters were his playing cards, each one raising the stakes in a game that, for him, was far from over. As the body count rose, so did the determination to unmask the Zodiac. In the face of this escalating terror, law enforcement agencies across California pooled their resources, working tirelessly to track down the merciless predator. Detectives pored over evidence, piecing together an intricate puzzle that seemed to only grow more complex with each passing day. Leads were pursued, suspects questioned, but the elusive Zodiac remained just out of their grasp. Parallel to the official investigations, an army of amateur sleuths also joined the hunt. Armed with little more than curiosity and a burning desire for justice, these everyday citizens delved into the Zodiac's cryptic messages, seeking patterns and clues overlooked by the professionals. Their diverse backgrounds, ranging from journalists and retired police officers to codebreakers and psychics, brought fresh perspectives to the case, fueling a myriad of theories. Among the main suspects identified were a disgruntled naval veteran, a man with a criminal past bearing a striking resemblance to the composite sketch, and even a popular local politician. Each suspect carried a tantalizing hint of possibility, yet none could be definitively linked to the crimes. With each passing year, the case seemed to slip further into the realm of the unsolvable. But even as the trail grew cold, there was a glimmer of hope. Advances in forensic science, particularly DNA analysis and fingerprint technology, breathed new life into the investigation. Unearthed evidence was re-examined, the Zodiac's letters scrutinized for potential genetic material. This cutting-edge science offered a tantalizing possibility. The Zodiac's identity could be hidden in the very letters he used to taunt the authorities. Yet, despite these tireless efforts and significant advancements, the killer remained an enigma. Each promising lead seemed to dissolve into a cloud of uncertainty, each potential suspect slipping through the fingers of investigators. Despite countless leads and theories, the Zodiac Killer's identity remained shrouded in mystery. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror may have ended, but his impact continues to resonate. The mystery surrounding this enigmatic figure has seeped into every corner of popular culture, leaving an indelible mark on the collective psyche. From the silver screen to the printed page, the Zodiac Killer's story has been retold and reimagined countless times. The 2007 film Zodiac, directed by David Fincher, offered a chillingly detailed account of the case, while a slew of books have dissected every aspect of the killer's cryptic communications. Television shows like Criminal Minds and American Horror Story have drawn inspiration from the Zodiac's eerie persona, embedding elements of his infamous deeds into their narratives. But it's not just the realm of fiction that's been influenced by this unsolved mystery. The Zodiac Killer's case has also transformed the landscape of true crime. It's catalyzed a new wave of amateur sleuthing, with countless individuals dedicating their time and resources to cracking the case. Online forums teem with theories and speculations, demonstrating how this half-century-old case still captivates the public's imagination. Moreover, the Zodiac Killer has played a pivotal role in the evolution of forensic science. His unsolved ciphers and elusive identity have pushed experts to develop more sophisticated techniques in cryptanalysis and DNA analysis. This case has not only fueled our fascination with the macabre, but also our drive to innovate and solve. The Zodiac Killer's legacy extends beyond his crimes. He's become an emblem of the unsolvable, a figure that embodies the human fascination with mystery and the unknown. His story has been woven into the fabric of our culture, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the shadows. In the true crime genre and beyond, the Zodiac Killer's influence is undeniable. His story has been retold, analyzed, and debated for over 50 years, a testament to the enduring allure of an unsolved mystery. A symbol of fear and fascination, he continues to cast a long, dark shadow over the landscape of American crime. The Zodiac Killer has become a symbol of the ultimate unsolved mystery. The question remains, who is the Zodiac Killer? As we delve deeper into the enigma of this infamous criminal, we're continually confronted by this haunting query. The Zodiac Killer, a name that is echoed through the annals of American crime history, is wrapped in a cloak of mystery that has remained impenetrable for over half a century. Let's recap what we know, or rather, what we think we know. The Zodiac Killer terrorized the San Francisco Bay Area in the late 60s and early 70s, leaving a trail of victims and cryptic letters in his wake. His coded messages, drenched in a chilling blend of arrogance and menace, were sent to the press, taunting authorities with their complexity. Despite the tireless efforts of detectives and amateur sleuths alike, the Zodiac's identity has remained elusive. Theories abound, with suspects ranging from convicted murderers to respected community members. Yet, definitive proof has slipped through investigators' hands time after time, leaving us in a perpetual state of uncertainty. However, the quest for answers is far from over. With recent advancements in forensic science, new hope has been sparked in the pursuit to unmask the Zodiac. DNA technology, previously unavailable during the height of the Zodiac's reign, is now being applied to the case. The same technology that has solved numerous cold cases could potentially provide the missing piece of this complex puzzle. We encourage you to continue following this case and contributing to the discourse. Every new perspective, every fresh pair of eyes, brings us one step closer to unveiling the truth. Who knows? You might just be the one to crack the code that has stumped investigators for decades. The Zodiac Killer's identity remains unknown, but the quest for answers continues. In the world of true crime, the Zodiac case remains one of the most intriguing unsolved mysteries.